All right, gang. So I don't know why it happens sometimes, but as I'm recording these movies, it just stops sometimes after a certain amount of time. So we're gonna do this one in two parts. We're gonna finish up the 1987 Tops four-pack extravaganza here. So I'm just gonna mention that Rick Leach finished off the second pack, as well as the Sarge Gary Matthews, of course, 1983 National League Championship Series MVP, hit 3 home runs in the '83 NLCS, and of course. Legendary broadcaster Gary the Sarge Matthews, which is where, of course, our podcast Continued Success originated from. That was something Gary always used to say. Look how cool Gary Matthews is. I mean, is he came out of the womb cool, man. I'm telling you what. All right, let's open pack number 3, and we'll do these a little bit more quickly because I don't know how much more time I'm gonna have here, and plus, we want to make these a marathon. You guys got lives to live. All right, here's another Dave Anderson. Oh, good, we got 2. It looks like we're going to have some duplicates here because here's Franklin Stubbs. There's Chuck Carey. This is kind of annoying how it's the exact same pack. Bob Horner, the exact same pack. We got the exact same pack, guys. Lou Piniella, Randy Bush. Here's a couple different ones. That sucked, though, didn't it? Didn't you hate that when you were growing up? You'd get these packs into the identical packs, like for at least half of them. The identical packs always really ticked me off. Bob Welch later would go on to have a lot of success with the A's, but also a very good pitcher for the Dodgers for a number of years. Thad Bosley. He reminds me of the guy who played the dad, the name anyway. Wasn't he the name of the guy who played the dad in Happy Days? Tom Bosley. It's Tom Bosley, right? So it's Thad Bosley. Obviously, I know they're different people. They look very different. Here's John Moses. Again, the mustache is back, and you gotta love. They need to bring. They also need to bring back the Trident. The Trident needs to be more a part of the Seattle Mariners' regular repertoire. Here's a great one: Terry Mulholland. Terry Mulholland, before he got traded to the Phillies, here with the San Francisco Giants. This was his rookie card. I used to think this was going to be really valuable because I thought Terry Mulholland was going to be an amazing, awesome pitcher. And of course, he made the '93 All-Star team. I think he started the '93 All-Star game, if I'm not mistaken. Had that great pickoff move to first, threw a no-hitter for the Phillies. I love Terry Mulholland. Terry Mulholland gave me my first holy crap moment as a Phillies fan with that 1990 no-hitter. Up to that point, I'd never seen anything cool with the Phillies. And when he threw that no-hitter and everybody was jumping all around him, that was the first holy crap moment that I ever had as a Phillies fan growing up. I'm going to set Terry Mulholland aside there. Here is Julio Cruz, Bob Rogers of the Montreal Expos, Frank Wills, looking very salt and pepper there, Glenn Braggs, you don't mess with Glenn Braggs, Kurt Stillwell, and then, of course, the great Greg Pryor of the Kansas City Royals. So, one more to go. Here's my microphone. Let's keep it off. One more to go here, and then we are going to be wrapped up for tonight. Let's see what we got. Danny Heap of Trouble. Rich Bordy. I imagine you're all Bordy by now. I know. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't turn it off. If I could, I would. Here's Brooke Jacoby. Now, here's a fun one. Pete Rose. Do we need to talk a lot about Pete Rose? Probably not, but this is back before Pete Rose was caught gambling on baseball when he was manager of the Cincinnati Reds. He led the Reds to a bunch of second-place finishes. He was a decent manager. He just liked to put money on his own team. You can't do that. Here's Eddie Whitson. Nick Esaski. And a lot of scrubs in this pile. Gene Garber had a storied career with the Phillies. Gene Garber, he was he... I think he was the guy who was on the mound in 1979, and then for the 1979 Phillies for Black Friday. He's the one who melted down in the ninth inning. I believe that was Gene Garber. I think that was Gene Garber. If it wasn't, one of you guys will let me know in the comments, right? Or I'll make a note in the comments letting you know exactly who it was, because I might be wrong about that. Look how much Mike Fischlin is choking up on his bat. I mean, he might as well be gripping it on the trademark. Could you get it up any higher, Mike Fischlin? Maybe, Mike Fischlin, get the bat boy to get you a smaller bat. Because, I mean, look, you are way too choked up on that bat, Mike Fischlin. Mike Fischlin, Get it down. I mean, I'm all for choking up, especially in two-strike situations, but he has more bat underneath him than he does above him in that particular shot. Here's Randy St. Clair. Pretty good name. Don't know who he is. A's leaders. This is Jose Canseco's rookie year, so he led a lot of those categories. Here's a Keith Hernandez All-Star card. So we got 3 All-Stars here. Kirby Puckett, Mike Schmidt, and Keith Hernandez. Here's Scott Sanderson. 300-game winner Don Sutton. Very underrated pitcher. Just pitched forever. Ron Cey, man, this guy was a thorn in the side of the Phillies in the 1970s when he was with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Great third baseman. Played for a long time and would just kill the Phillies in the playoffs. Killed him in the 77 and 78 playoffs. Ron Cey was a very, very good baseball player. Cardinals leaders, again, who cares? Tom Browning was a very good pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds for a number of years. And then we're going to finish things off with former Philly great Dickie Thon. Now, many of you guys, do you guys know the story about Dickie Thon? He was on his way to being a star player for the Astros when he got hit in the face by a pitch. And he missed like an entire season. It was 1984. Yeah, he played 5 games in 1984 after getting hit in the face by a pitch. Only 84 the next year. But eventually he would come over to the Phillies and was a decent enough player for the Phillies. He wasn't great. I don't even know if I'd call him good, but he had a decent bat. He could have been a lot more. But that incident kind of stole his mojo, kind of stole his thunder, and he was on his way to. He was a rising star in Major League Baseball. Eventually came over to the Phillies and played for the Phillies in the late 90s, the late 80s, early 90s, and was a decent shortstop for the team. They had to move on from the Steve Jeltz era at some point. Dickie Thon was who they moved on to, so we'll keep Dickie Thon aside as well. So, folks, that will do it for this edition of Cards on the Table. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by and watching the 2-part video series. Again, tell a friend about the Hittin' Season Patreon. And if there's anything you'd like to see me open and any players you'd like for me to talk about, please let me know. I have a blast doing these, so I'm always looking for an opportunity to open up some old baseball cards and chat about who we find here on Cards on the Table. Take it easy, everybody.